Hi class. Today we will talk about the first topic. We will cover it, the basic concepts in politics and governance, and I will divide the discussion into several parts. Okay, but the objective of this discussion are the following: identify the scope and concerns of political science, differentiate the four basic structures in politics, enumerate and explain the fundamental concepts in politics that define relationships of control, and defining the quality of life concepts related to politics. Okay, let us start. First off, the constitutional mandate. According to the 1987 Philippine Constitution, in answering the question, why do we have to study Philippine Constitution? Well, number one, all educational institutions shall include the study of the Constitution as part of the curricula. So we have to study the Constitution, so it's either in your senior high or in college. And the main reason is to inculcate patriotism and nationalism, foster love of humanity, respect for human rights, appreciation of the role of national heroes in the historical development of the country, teach the rights and duties of citizenship, strengthen ethical and spiritual values, develop moral character and personal discipline, encourage critical and creative thinking, broaden scientific and technological knowledge, and promote vocational efficiency. So basically, what it wants us to do, the aim is for us to study the Constitution, because the more that we study the Constitution, it is hoped that we will be inspired by it so that we will become patriotic, and most especially for us to know also what are our basic rights. Okay? And now let us go to the nature of politics. The name itself, the name politics, came from the Greek word polis, which means city-state. Now, the city-state is a divided state within a bigger state. This was during the time of the Greeks, when Greece was not yet a Greece, when it was divided still with different, like in barangay, we have different government for each state. And like, for example, you have Athens, you have Sparta, you have Miletus. So all these, they are all city states. They govern independently from the other city states until somebody decided, okay, why not join them together, and then we will have a country. And later on, this country has expanded some more because somebody wanted to become an emperor. So it became bigger. And then when after the war, people thought, why not be united, and then they devised of another term. You now have the nation states, that is a state that is joined by the same culture, by the same belief. So that is what we call the nation state. So it is basically derived from polis, which means the city state. But the nature of politics in its essence would be this. So that is only talking about its name. Okay? Politics is a means of organizing human activity. So you have to understand that it's so that people have different ways of expressing themselves, and they have different needs as well, and so they have to be organized, otherwise it will become chaotic. So this problem has been with us for such a long period of time, and therefore politics has been with us also even before the city state was formed. For as long as you are trying to organize human activity, like for example, probably cavemen, they would probably say, okay, these people will be the hunters, and you people will have to take care of the kids. So that's already organizing the human activity, and that's already politicking over there. And it also means seeking and using the power of state to make allocations of scarce resources throughout a given polity. You have to understand that as much as the those in power would like to give, or as much as we want to have everything that we need, sometimes that is not possible because we do not have enough resources for everybody. So what are you going to do now with the limited resources or the scarce resources that we have? Then that also calls in politics, because you have to decide who will get what and who will get more than the others. Okay, so with the last part that we have here, It is also, politics is also the process of conflict in the authoritative allocation of values in the society. So just like what I explained earlier, there are so many things that we hold as valuable, as important, as something that we want to have. That is what we mean by allocation, by values here. So now, how are you going to allocate that? Meaning to say, how are you going to budget that? How are you going to spread that to all concerned so that everybody, as much as possible, will be happy? So in the image that we have here, what we have here is you have the taxes here. So with the pool of tax that we have here, how are you going to spread it now to people, because people have different needs? So budgeting. And who will do that? It will be those who are in authority. So politicking, basically making sure that everybody will have something according to the authority that is put into power. Okay? And let us go to the next concept. So now we know the nature of politics. So for as long as there is a conflict, we know that there is politics. Okay, and for as long as there is limited resources, then we know that that would be politics. Now, what about political science? Political science has uses two approaches. You have the structural approach and the functional approach. For the structural approach, the study or the concentration of political science would be who would be the head of the government, the structure. Now, who would be the head of the government? Who would be in the middle? Who would there be a vice president? Will there be a prime minister or a president? Or will there be a monarchy? So what you're looking into would be the ranking of people. And then it can also be a study using the functional approach. What would be its function? What would be its use? How will it allocate the different resources that they have, or the limited resources that that territory has? Okay, so we will just end here for the first part. So we have already learned the nature of political science, and also what political science, or what political science is all about. Okay, I'll see you in the next discussion.